this is Katie. In today's video, I want to do a little health update for you guys. A lot of you know that in November, I got sick with acid reflux, and I've had some diagnoses and some things go on since then. And so I just wanted to do an update, tell you guys how I've been feeling lately. Yeah, so if you're interested in this topic, I really hope that you're subscribed, and I hope that you keep watching. Okay, so I'm not going to give a long backstory about why I'm sick or what's going on, because I have a whole video I will link right here that I explained everything. So if you don't know why I'm sick, please watch that one first, and then you can watch this update. I posted that other video, a couple months ago at this point, and I mentioned that I have really bad acid reflux that started in November, and then after some further testing to see why I had the acid reflux, I was diagnosed with eosinophilic esophagitis, which is abbreviated EOE, and I was also diagnosed with a stomach tumor. And I went over all of that in that last video. So again, if you want more details, please go watch that one first, because now I just want to give you an update on how I've been doing, how I've been feeling, what's been going on with my diet and stuff. Because with the acid reflux, doctors recommend to cut out a ton of food, like citrus, fatty foods, fried food, alcohol, tomatoes, like a ton of different foods they recommend cutting out, because any of those foods could be acid reflux triggers. Not all of them are to everyone. Everyone's different, you know, so you kind of have to do your own trial and error for your own body if you suffer from acid reflux, but those are some like the common ones that they suggest you cut out. And so mine, when I got it, was so bad, so bad. Felt like my chest was getting hit with a baseball bad. So I cut out all of the acid reflux triggers, all of them. I cut out every single thing that could possibly trigger acid reflux. And again, that was like late November that I started that. My doctor, if we're just talking about acid reflux, my doctor said that I can start adding some of those foods back to see, because again, not all of them are triggers for everyone. So in the past like 6 weeks or 2 months or something, the last couple months, I have tried back a little bit of fried food. Like I've had some potato chips and I've been okay with those, which is cool. I've tried back hamburger meat. So I made a couple burgers and like some taco meat too, with very little spice, but I made that, and it was 93.7 beef. So it was pretty lean beef. I just wanted to try it like as lean as possible. And I had that, and I had some burgers and tacos, and I was okay with that, which was really exciting. And I also had one other thing that I tried back. Oh, the tiniest bit of spice, like tiny. I mean, a little bit of black pepper on some sweet potatoes or something. And I tried that, and that was okay too. I've also been having some soy-free, dairy-free chocolate, and that has been totally fine for me. And so that's kind of been exciting that I've been able to add a few foods back slowly. I'm doing it slowly and I'm doing it safely. I think one of the next things I'm gonna try is cooked onions, because onions are one of my favorite foods, and I haven't had them in like 4 months. And so I heard that cooked onions are a little bit easier to digest and stuff on acid reflux, and just easier to digest in general. So I think soon I'm gonna try cooked onions. And I did try alcohol, and that was a bad move. The rest of those worked out pretty well. I had alcohol. The story about that was I had about a drink and a half or 2 drinks mid-February, and after like an hour, I could feel my throat closing up. It was terrifying. And when I talked to my doctor about it, he said, okay, well, you could maybe try a different type of alcohol and see if that affects you, you know, but now I'm just really scared. So again, adding these things back, it's really a slow process, because if any of them do affect me and do trigger my acid reflux, it's really painful, you know? I know some people have acid reflux and it's kind of heartburn, discomfort, but I know some people, like I had it when I had my bad acid reflux, it felt like I was getting hit in the chest with a baseball. And so there's different severities, and I had it pretty bad. And so adding the foods back, knowing that some of them might trigger my acid reflux, is kind of scary. So I've been doing it pretty slowly, kind of adding, you know, little things back here and there, really doing it like specifically. Like I'm not adding 6 foods back at the same time, you know, because that would be too confusing. So like when I had burgers, for example, I just added 1 burger, and I didn't have it with anything else new, and I was fine. Another thing that I was able to add back was spicy mustard, which is so exciting for me because I love mustard. And so I was able to add back spicy mustard on my sandwiches, and even on the burger, I tried it and I was totally fine. So, and by totally fine, here's what I mean. I still have some symptoms, because I still have some symptoms after I eat really anything, but they're very mild and very manageable. It's more just discomfort for a few minutes. I have not had more than just mild discomfort in several weeks, which is like so exciting. So I think that that has been helping, having those foods cut out for a while. But then if we move on to my eosinophilic esophagitis, my esophagus disorder that I got diagnosed with that, like early January. January, I think, because of an endoscopy that I got. They did biopsies of my esophagus and they found out that I have way too many eosinophils, which are a type of white blood cell. And so it adds a lot of inflammation, and it's generally allergy related. And it's a chronic disorder. It's incurable, but it's treatable. And so the main treatment that they do, at least like the initial one that I've researched and that my doctor recommended, was going on an elimination diet. So I had to cut out all the top 8 food allergens, meaning gluten, which I've already been off gluten for like 10 years anyway, so that didn't really matter, but I had to cut out gluten, dairy, eggs, soy, peanuts, tree nuts, and then seafood, which is cut up into 2 categories, but it's like shellfish and fish or something, I don't know. But anyway, those are the top 8. So I had to cut out all of those completely. So with the acid reflux, my doctor said, oh, I can kind of add these foods back here and there and I can try them. But the EOE elimination diet, I have to cut out all of those completely, cannot even have a bite. And then in a few months, under doctor's care, I can add them back to see if they affect me. So it's like 2 different diets, 2 different ways of going about them. And so I'm trying to handle all of that mentally, but I have a pretty good handle on it, but I just know talking about it is really confusing. But the EOE diet that I had to cut out all the top 8 allergens, I started that like early February, I think it was like February 4th, I believe. It was whatever that Monday was. I started that diet. So I cut out all of the top 8 allergens completely cold turkey, and I have not messed up since then, which is good. And that mixed with, I'm also on medication. I'm on omeprazole, which is like Pepcid, and I've been on that since November. So I think that's been helping a little bit. But since I cut out all the top 8 allergens, I have been feeling a little bit better, which is like so exciting. Like I'm definitely still sick. It's hard to talk about this kind of stuff because I want to like celebrate the wins, right? And I want to celebrate the small victories and tell you guys, yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better, but I also don't want it to seem like I'm not sick anymore and that it's not a big deal or anything, because I am. So it's kind of hard to talk about it. But with the EOE, it's a chronic disorder that's incurable, but it's treatable. And so if I find the right foods that I'm allergic to and I completely cut them out, then I might be able to just kind of feel okay on a daily basis again. And so I cut out all the top 8 food allergens and I am feeling like a little bit better. I'm not feeling 100%. Please do not get me wrong and to think that, oh, I'm just fine now. No, but I am feeling better. I've gotten some energy back, and that's noticeable. Like a month ago or something, I walked around TJ Maxx for an hour, and by the time I was done, my body was completely shut down. Now, if I go shopping for an hour or 2, like I can handle that more. And so it's really noticeable. I'm so excited that I'm getting some of my energy back. I am still resting a lot. Most of the time I'm spending either in bed or just, you know, sitting at the desk or just kind of resting my body most of the time. But I am able now to go out and run errands. And I think I either just posted a video or I'm about to, where I was able to go to the beach and stuff like that. And so I have definitely gotten some energy back, and all of my eosinophilic esophagitis symptoms and my acid reflux symptoms have drastically decreased. Again, they have not completely gone away. Again, I'm not feeling 100%, but they have started to decrease. The acid reflux symptoms that I was feeling was, when it started, was a very severe pain in my chest when I swallowed anything. That is gone, which is so exciting. That is gone. That only lasted a couple weeks in like November, December, and the medicine I was on really helped with that. And then these diets and stuff that I've been on have just really drastically helped. And so with the eosinophilic esophagitis, the symptoms that I was really experiencing, because it's different for everyone, but I was experiencing a lot of feeling like I was choking. I have dealt with that feeling for a while, like way before this all started in November, where like my acid reflux kicked in, way before that. And I always just thought that it was because of my gastroparesis, which is another digestive issue that I deal with. I just thought it was because of that after I eat, I kind of feel, how I used to explain it was, I feel really full in my throat. Like how you would feel full in your stomach is kind of how I feel in my throat after I eat. Like I just feel full in my throat, like I feel that pressure. So that's how I would always explain it, and I felt that for years, but I just always thought it was a symptom of my gastroparesis. It didn't last very long. It was more uncomfortable and less painful, so I just was kind of like, that's probably my gastroparesis, no big deal. But now I've learned that I guess it's actually my EOE, and some people who have EOE actually get food stuck in their throat. I don't know if I actually get food stuck or if it just feels like it because of the inflammation. I'm not 100% sure about mine, but I also feel feel really nauseated after I eat a lot. And again, I have felt that for a long time. And I also, after I eat, sometimes feel really, really exhausted. Like my body is completely shut down after I eat. And again, I have felt that for a while. The newer symptoms that started in November was the 2-week pain to the chest, and then more of the heartburn, acid reflux, and then even more of the severe EOE symptoms, so they've just gotten a lot worse with all the stuff going on that started in November, if that makes sense. That I know it's a little confusing, but some of the symptoms I've had for a while, and some of them really started in November. But with these diets, with cutting out some of the stuff for the acid reflux, and then cutting out all the top 8 food allergens for the EOE, I definitely am feeling a little bit better. Again, I'm not 100%. This is still something I'm going to have forever. I'm still in the middle of the process of figuring all of this out, because it's still going to take me a while to figure out actually what I'm allergic to, what my forever diet is going to be, stuff like that. But for now, I definitely feel like I have a little bit more energy, at least for the last week or two, and so I hope that that sticks around, because who knows, with stuff like this, I'm sure there's going to be ups and downs. I'm sure there's going to be some days that are harder than others, but at least the last week or two, I've had more energy. And so I do think that the top 8 allergens, I do think that I'm allergic to at least one of them, because cutting them all out, I am getting some energy back. I don't feel as much discomfort when I eat. I still do feel some, but it has lessened a little bit. And so that's really exciting. But in a few months, under doctor's care, I'm going to have to add back some of those top 8 allergens, but one at a time. So there's just going to be one day that I have to have a lot of dairy. And I think I'm going to have a lot of dairy for a couple days, and then see if I get those symptoms. And that's really scary to think about. Literally, I'm going to have to add back dairy, and then know that there's a possibility that I'm going to either feel the pain to the chest, or feel really nauseated, or feel like I'm choking, or feel my throat close up again. The only other alternative is to never have dairy again. And I would prefer to know what I'm allergic to. So I would prefer to go through that, even though it's going to be scary. But I'm going to make sure, talk to my doctor, and that will probably be in a few months. Because my doctor, when I talked to him about the elimination diet, he told me that I should be on it for several months. He said probably 6 months or so. Some of the online websites that talk about this say a month or 6 weeks, but my doctor said no, probably closer to 6 months. So I'm going to see how that goes, but it's only been about, by the time you're watching this, maybe 2 months or so. So I still have a little while to go, but the diet has been okay. I definitely have found some foods that I'm able to eat and that I enjoy. I can still have my turkey sandwiches that I love, because I found allergy-free bread, and then just turkey cold cuts and some mustard and lettuce. I even added back salami recently too. I forgot to say that, and I've had some hard salami and I was fine. And I know that that's a big trigger for some people with acid reflux, but it doesn't really affect mine. And so that's good. Again, I do get a little heartburny, but not really. And so my doctor, when I tell him that, he might be like, oh, if you get any heartburn, don't eat it. I don't know. Or if that's something that maybe it's kind of okay to do every once in a while. I'm not entirely sure. But again, it's a trial and error. It's a process. It's kind of up and down depending on the day, but it's something that I am going through with my doctor, so I'm just finding out what's best for me, because we're all different in not only our symptoms, because again, some people who have acid reflux kind of have more mild symptoms and some people have really severe, but also just in how we treat it. There's all different ways to do this kind of stuff. And so this is what I'm doing, and I really have seen a difference, which is nervous to even say out loud, because then I'm like, oh, what if by the time you're watching this, my symptoms got worse again, because I'm pre-recording this a couple weeks in advance. But at least right now, I'm recording this mid-late March. At least right now, I've had a good couple weeks. So again, who knows if tomorrow I'm going to feel sick, or if I'm going to feel this great for a while. I don't know. And so I kind of get nervous talking about it, because I don't want it to just seem like, oh, everything's fine now, because it is still a process. It is still a long process of finding out what I'm allergic to. But I'm in a really good headspace, a really good mindset. I'm feeling very like I can do this. And I know that God is watching me and helping me through this whole thing, because when it all started in November, it was one of the hardest times of my entire life. But now that it's been 4 months, it is getting easier. I am getting used to the diet. Again, I found several foods that I like to eat, and mentally I feel strong through Christ. I really do. And so I'm just really excited about that you know, again, when it started, I was like kind of having a pity party. I was really upset. There were other things going on late last year in my personal life and even physically too that just made everything so hard. The last 6 months of last year was like the hardest time in my life. And a lot of that was physical, but then also mental too. But the last couple months, I just have felt stronger in Christ. I really, really have. I know that God has been helping me get through this, because when all of this started, it was so difficult. It was so difficult to deal with the pain, to deal with the mental aspect of it. But now just mentally, like, I feel stronger. I feel like I can do this. I feel capable. Like, there have still been days or hours here and there that I'll have a pity party, or I'll get overwhelmed, or I'll get sad, or I'll get like, wow, I have to deal with this forever, you know? But mostly mentally lately, I've felt stronger and I felt more capable of handling it. And then again, physically, at least the last couple weeks, I have felt overall a little bit better than I was before. I still don't feel 100%. I'm still resting a lot. I'm still eating small meals. I'm not eating a ton. I don't honestly really have much of an appetite. It's 1 o'clock and I haven't eaten anything. I've had a little bit of my protein shake that I need to shake up, but I've had a little bit of that, but I haven't really had much of an appetite. I've been eating less, but the foods that I have been eating have just been hurting me less. I still do feel discomfort after I eat, but it's just more manageable. And so I'm just really grateful for that. You know, again, I didn't want to make this video acting like everything's fine now and everything's great, but I do want to celebrate these small victories, and I do want to celebrate when I start to even feel 5% better. And so that's what I'm doing. I just feel in such like a good mental space. It's still a long road. It's still a hard process. It's still scary sometimes. It really is. Some of it is still really, really scary. And there are still days where it's much harder to get out of bed, and there are some days that I just kind of lie around all day, you know, but again, more overall, I've been feeling better than I was, and it's really exciting. So hopefully, you know, now that a lot of those allergens are completely out of my body, because it's been about 6 weeks, and I think the longest that an allergen stays in your body, I think, don't quote me, but I think is about 6 weeks. So I think now it's like they're all out, and so my body is starting to heal itself. And you know, it's important to rest. It's important for me to be drinking my protein and having a lot of water and stuff like that. But I think that what I'm doing is helping. I really do. God is the only reason that I'm getting through all of this, really. So yeah, I'm just very grateful. I'm very, very grateful that I can eat anything, that I can drink water without severe pain like I had in November. So yeah, I just wanted to make this update for you guys. Again, telling you that I am still sick. It's gonna be a long road ahead of me figuring out all these food allergies, but I'm in a good mental space and I have found foods that I enjoy eating. I just did, you know, a couple like grocery hauls and stuff like that. Maybe I'll do another video in a couple weeks showing you some of my meals. So let me know if you guys are interested in seeing that. Yeah, so I'm in a good headspace. I do still feel sick almost every day, but I'm just in a more positive headspace about it. Like realistic positive, not false positive, toxic positive, just more realistic positive. That what I'm doing is starting to work, and I know some days are gonna be hard, and I know some days are gonna be a little easier, but I have God, and so I can get through all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to do this little update. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for all your well wishes. I really appreciate them so much. Yeah, so thank you again for watching, and I hope that you're subscribed to my channel, and I hope that you're following me on Instagram as well. I do a lot of like reels and posts and some daily updates over there. Yeah, but thanks again, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day. I love you, Jesus loves you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.